ecstasy, a little bit of you and me, a little bit of such a free, a little bit of ecstasy, a little bit of ecstasy, a little bit of you and me, a little bit of such a free, a little bit of ecstasy. Give me what I want, 'cause what I want is what you need. Give me what I want, a little bit of ecstasy.
Jocelyn Enriquez. Well, right now we're actually at the second single now from Jocelyn Enriquez with her new album coming out May 17th, I believe. And the new single is A Little Bit of Ecstasy. Just hit radio now. We hit some key markets that we wanted. San Francisco, Wow 107 has added it, and a couple other key markets across the nation that you know we were counting on to come on this one, because the last single, Do You Miss Me, was such a success. So that's definitely helping us with the second single. Hopefully this momentum is gonna take us right into the album, and hopefully increase sales when we finally drop that album. From this whole experience with Jocelyn Enriquez, I think as far as the music industry, I think Classified Records has definitely opened some eyes.
Tell me that you love me. I'll be a dream.
The first single peaked at number 49 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, which is great for this company, because I think the highest back in '92 when Jocelyn released I've Been Thinking About You, I think that peaked somewhere in the low 80s. So for Do You Miss Me to peak at 49, that was a real success story for this company. I'm the National Director of Promotions, and that mostly involves radio promotions. So when we have a new record, it's my job to take it to the radio programmers and try to increase the awareness for the song, talk to them about it, and as the story builds on the song, I use that as my ammunition to go after all these new programmers, stationed across the country.
You can't just say you're going to put out this artist and have everybody and anybody like that particular person. I mean, you can have a hit record, but at the same time, the artist's face might not appeal to certain people. It's like putting a building together, designing a building. There needs to be a discipline, a foundation set up, and what it was is we reached out to the community in the early days, and even until now we reach out to the community, the Asian American community, to support such an artist. It's that foundation that takes an artist into the mainstream.
The first thing that needs to happen is that Asian entertainers need to be coming out a lot more. And you see it happening with folks like, Jocelyn Enriquez with Premier, Mountain Brothers just recently got signed to Rough House. Lyrics Born on Soul Sides is doing really well. And so you see, the sort of front end of folks breaking into the popular music realm. You've had a lot of folks in jazz over the years, but they'll all pretty much tell you the same thing probably, which is that, they didn't have a lot of people to work with at that time, and they've been able to develop their own kind of community as well, but they don't necessarily have a strong toehold within the jazz industry, the jazz sub-industry of the music industry. In '92, I headed back to Asian American Studies, and my focus was on interracial relations. And all of that germinated essentially because of my participation in hip-hop and the kinds of arguments and debates I would have with my friends who are also lovers of hip-hop and that kind of thing, and had very strong feelings about what was going on in the inner cities and tensions between Asians and blacks. The first take that I had on the whole thing was as a writer, you know, and I remember when Black Korea came out, when Ice Cube put out Black Korea back in 1991, I think it was, probably, 1990, 1991. I had a really, really strong reaction to it. And this was, you know, a couple years before the rebellion jumped off in LA. Coming up through the 80s and being involved in activism and doing a lot of stuff in coalitions which brought together all kinds of people of color. I think I had a real idealistic picture of the world, and I was really shocked, I think, to hear Ice Cube the first time around, you know, talking about, you know, we'll burn your motherfucking Korean ass, you know, that kind of shit. It was raw, you know, it was raw, and I know that a lot of emotions were going on at the same time in New York as well, in Brooklyn and everything else. And it was new to be on the receiving end of black rage, as opposed to being on the other end of expressing, you know, the rage of people that have been colonized and stuff like that against folks that have been fucking us over and shit. But you know, it was a really difficult time, and I remember writing a lot of stuff at that particular period about it, expressing my rage back. A lot of what I'm doing here at Soul Sides is related to that, you know what I'm saying? We're a multiracial crew. I mean, a lot of folks like to trumpet the fact that DJ Shadow's white. Well, I mean, if people knew about the way the crew came together, they'd understand that there's a real sense of cultural awareness of different people's cultures, and that it's a very interactive process, and it's been a process of building. It's been an experiment, sort of, in my eyes, as far as how people can, you know, work out differences and all this kind of stuff, and come together to do something really great.
First of all, I'm part of a morning show called The Breakfast Club. It's Monday through Friday, 6 to 10 in the morning, with Sway and Big Daddy Victor Saragosa. I spin for them on the DJ, and I also help in the production aspects of things. I also do a show with Chewy Gomez called the 8 O'Clock Bomb. I do a few nights a week. It's a hip-hop show from 8 to 9. I usually do like Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And I'm also the mix show coordinator for the All-Star DJ, so I handle all the events and just coordinating all the responsibilities and duties we have to do. Outside of DJing, I also do a lot of production work too. I like you know, doing remix work and just producing beats, and you know, just for rappers or just some friends, or remix work for like labels. In the past, I was fortunate to do a remix medley on Ice Cube's last albums, on the Bootlegs and B-side album. It's a little medley on there. And I also done work with my fellow mixer Dave Meyer, who owns Wicked Mix, which is a remix service, and I've done some projects on his work. And I also done like some stuff like with Bone Thugs and Harmony. I did a medley. It didn't come out, but it was supposed to, but we did work on there. And just whatever. I do a lot of remixes for the station, and like I said, I do a lot of production works for like the morning show and like the 8 O'Clock Bomb. Just say the Biggie album. I just said the Biggie album, and also but make up the bootleg of the Tupac thing, along with your regular, you know.
I heard the entire Biggie album today for the first time.
Yeah.
I really like it. Like, wow.
So I'm very proud of being Asian because number one, in the music business, to be honest, there's not that many Asian Americans in this type of business, and like myself and friends, and we're Asian, we're both Filipino. And at the station, you know, it's a big thing because we're representing your community for one, and just like I said, being in the business, because like I talk to a lot of people across the world, and like different record labels, companies, and just artists, even artists, and there's not that many Asians making it, and for us making a name for ourselves, it makes a big difference.
I don't know of any area besides the Bay Area that really has any Asian Americans. The only person, I don't really know of any, man. The Bay Area has a lot of Asian people in the broadcasting business, especially KML, man.
Your number one responsibility is getting the ratings, and you're accountable basically to the general manager on that standpoint. And that's basically what it all comes down to, is a ratings game. If you don't have ratings, you don't have the tools to make the station go as far as sales and things like that go. So in order to get ratings, there's a bunch of different departments that I oversee. Of course, you have the programming and music department, and then you have the promotions department. And my job is basically to make sure that all three of those departments kind of vibe together and, you know, come together to achieve that goal and basically get the numbers up, get the ratings up.
It's interesting because I don't really see, I'm not sure what other people think when they see, you know, me working here, or, you know, it may not be an issue, it may be, but I've never really taken the time to ask them what their perception of me working here. But as far as me, I think it is weird because we aren't really representing ourselves in this industry, and if we are, they're not coming up. Like you said, most of the mainstream artists are African American and Caucasian.
One time, I remember specifically, we went down to do this interview with the record label. We went down to their offices, and this was a rap group, brand new rap group. Funny thing is, I don't even remember their name. They're not around anymore. But they had a really trippy attitude when I came there, because I guess, you know, coming from the California Music Channel, you know, they knew the station, they knew what we were about, and they knew me over the phone or whatnot. And I guess when I came down there, you know, I wasn't like the quote-unquote, I don't know, the image of what they expected. You know, maybe I didn't look like what I sounded like over the phone or something, but it was pretty obvious to me, you know, last name Kawanami, what they expect, whether I walked in and they thought I was some crazy guy off the street or something. But it took a little while for them. They almost, you know, didn't take me seriously, you know. And a lot of things factor in that too, is, you know, my age. I come off pretty young too, but, you know, I think, you know, being Asian, you know, American too, had a little bit to do with it.
Yeah, but to be honest, I'm not sure. I think I might feel that some people want to see more African Americans or Caucasians in the business, or, you know, when they talk to us, because it is weird, because, you know, our music, our programs are representing mostly African American artists, and when they come in here to check it out, like, there's no one or not too many people who are African American. So it may be like a reverse discrimination thing they may be feeling, even though that may not be the case.
It's very political, very political. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of things out there, you know, behind the scenes that you guys don't see that goes on at the radio station. A lot of people wonder how come we don't play this song, and how come we don't play this video. You know, it's politics. This music industry, quote unquote, is, you know, political. That's the way we got to deal with it.
I've heard people say point blank, you know, it's like, they're cool, but they're Asian Americans, so we can't really sign them because there's no market for them, you know. And these are really talented folks. So I've heard that time and again, actually, you know, from people that I wouldn't necessarily consider to be racist, but people that are looking at it from a purely business decision and making a decision that in effect excludes Asian Americans, you know what I'm saying? So they may not necessarily be racist themselves, but they're making decisions that end up having racist effects.
At the promotions level, I'm meeting more and more Asians. One of the things, though, I'm seeing is that in the higher executive positions, especially with major labels, I'm not seeing too many Asians. I mean, I have yet to see one. I could be wrong. There could be some major label there with an Asian in power, but I haven't seen it yet. I mean, except with Classified Records, this is an ideal case because it's a small indie company put together by Asians, and we run it. You know, it's Asian run, actually Filipino run. So it definitely means a lot. And for us to be able to make this much noise in an industry that's traditionally never really represented, you know, Asians, that definitely means a lot.
Recently, we've been doing pretty well with going head-to-head with the networks, too. You know, some of our team numbers, like the January, February book, we outdrew everybody. We're #1 in the market as far as team numbers go. So we beat the Oprah Winfrey's and you know, everybody. So it was cool. You know, real happy with that.
We are going to play a big role. And I foresee it in the future, in film, in music, in the entertainment world, not only in the medicine, science, and engineering and technology and all of that stuff, but you know, in the entertainment industry.
Hi, I'm Jamie Gutierrez, and I'm administrative assistant to Corman and also graphic design intern.
I'm the promotions manager. My name is Tani, and this is where we set up whatever movie screenings we got, CD giveaways, everything you see on there that goes out as a contest goes through this office, and it goes through Andy's office as well. So there's some movie passes. You know, we got a bunch of movies coming up. I guess you can kill the camera now. I'll give you some.